Hello and welcome to Who is Best, a show where I, Lo Claudine, take games that give you choices and rate those choices in a tier list. And today we'll be looking at. Wait, what's this doing? Okay, move. As I was saying, today we'll be looking at the jobs in Final Fantasy. Whoops. Okay, out of my way. We will be examining the many jobs of Final Fantasy. Oh my gosh. Okay, I will do Persona Q. Aww. So the plan was to do a video on Final Fantasy V's job system, but I'm too scared that my small contingent of fans will leave me alone, cold, and scared if I don't listen to them. Don't worry, Valiant Master King, I will get Final Fantasy V uploaded next week. Now let's change it up here. Today we will be examining Persona Q Shadow of the Labyrinth, a 3DS title that mixed the dungeon crawling and battle system of the Etrian Odyssey series with the status-inflicting, character-exploding JRPG masterpieces of Persona 3 and 4. This game is great, and its sequel Persona Q2 was one of the last games to be published on the system. This game has 2 guest characters along with all of the playable characters in Persona 3 and 4. There are 18 in total. Now, a few things before we move into this list. SP, or magic, in this game is limited and overall ends up costing too much in the dungeons. Using characters with high magic ends up being a game of resource management than anything else. That being said, I do not side on the opinion that the physical attackers are the only viable ones. On top of this, the luck stat is one of the most important stats in the game due to its ability to prevent and inflict status elements, land critical hits, and evade attacks. Characters with high luck will obviously land higher on this list. Oh, and stick around for a bonus list at the end. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get started with the tier. The only character on the tier is Teddy. Teddy is outclassed and outperformed by every other character. Sure, he has a high luck stat, but he has no stats or skills to back it up. I suppose he'd be good at dodging attacks? Well, he would have to be, because he's most likely going to die if he gets hit. The low tier. Koromaru is the fastest character in the game. This can allow him to get some good buffs off and land attacks, but ultimately he falls short for one reason: his skill pool. He really learns nothing of note. There are other characters whose skills outperform his through every section of the game. In essence, his speed is wasted. Next up is Koromaru's buddy Ken. And like Koromaru, Ken holds one of the highest stats in the game, the luck stat. But look, you said... Yeah, shut up. Look, the luck stat is pretty much broken in this game, and we will eventually get to my waifu, a character who uses it well. But Ken has the exact same problem that Koromaru has. He doesn't have the skills to back up his stats. The final 2 characters in the low tier are Zen and Rei. I hesitated to even put these 2 characters in a tier because they're so different than all the others. Because of this, I'll keep this short and let the comments decide if I'm right. Zen and Rei have high stats and some unique skills, but due to the fact that they can't equip and level up sub-personas, you probably are better off using any other character. The mid-tier. Next on the mid-tier, well, we'll just throw these next 2 together. Next on the mid-tier is Yukiko and Yukari. They are both your resident healers and have some of the highest magic stats in the game. Now, as I said earlier, characters who are magic dependent end up ultimately costing you too much. Top tier skills are SP expensive and really need to be saved for bosses, which means that you spend your time in dungeons just keeping them alive for the most part. Yukari is your best option for a healer, with Yukiko taking the rear. In some team builds they might be necessary, but that doesn't make them good. Next on the mid tier is Mitsuru. Mitsuru is the strongest magic user in the game. She has the highest magic stat and early access to Mind Charge, setting her up as pretty much a nuclear bomb. But her low speed makes it hard to get off important skills early, and ultimately the game system itself ends up hurting her in the end. Now let's move on to Yosuke. Yosuke is probably the closest thing to a support mage in the game. He has high speed, which lets him pop off important skills early in the fight. He does have the disadvantage of having a horrible luck stat, which hurts him quite a bit. His usefulness shines through with normal enemies, but when it comes to boss fights, he falls short. The last member of the mid-tier and probably the most controversial placement is Shinji. Shinji is the tank of the game. Literally, this guy is a massive wall. He can tank most hits, and with Yomi return and a bit of luck, he's even more hard to kill. Ironic, I know. But low speed and no specialty other than not dying really hurts his placement on this list. The top tier. First up on the top tier is another possible controversial choice. Chie is a luck-based beast. She has high strength, speed, and luck stats, which makes her a damage-dealing machine. Depending on some luck, she can actually deal out the most damage of any character in the game, although it's a bit inconsistent. Use her at your own risk, but don't underestimate Chie's raw power when it comes to damage output. Next on the top tier is Akihiko. Akihiko is similar to Chie. He puts out slightly less damage, but is more consistent. Early game, he is easily one of your best characters, but his usefulness and effectiveness in battle slows mid-game and end-game. What keeps him from the mid-tier is his skill Conqueror's title. The next member on the top tier is Kanji. Kanji has low luck. But low Karin, I thought, shut up. Yes, he has low luck and speed, so you'll be missing and have very few crits. But his ability to tank hits and the highest strength stat in the game mixed with an amazing skill pool rockets this guy high above the rest. Now for a commercial break. Okay, let's keep moving forward. The last member of the top tier is Junpei. Junpei has Golden Gemini, the god tier. Okay, never mind. I'll go back and explain. Junpei is the most consistent damage dealer in the game. He depends on luck rolls a lot less than both Chie and Akihiko. Junpei's definitely a late bloomer though, and will be hard to work with in the early game, but keep going as he is well worth the wait. The God tier. There are 4 characters in the God tier, and each is easily the best party member in the game for one reason or another. First up is one of the most underrated Persona characters and easily my personal favorite, Naoto. Naoto is no good in boss fights, sure, but she can wipe whole teams of shadows. Her high speed, high luck, high magic combo mixed with instant death spells makes her a must for your back row. On top of this, she is an optimal character for inflicting status ailments. Next up is the main character from Persona 3. We'll call him Minato. Minato is similar to Naoto, but with skills and resistances that makes him useful in both boss battles and shadow battles. I put him before the other MC because a lot of his usefulness is dependent on magic, and again, magic is difficult. The second to last party member on the God tier is the main character from Persona 4. We'll call him Yu. Yu is your jack of all trades. This guy does everything better than anyone, kind of. Honestly, I don't know why you wouldn't use both MCs in this game, as they are both silent badasses. But Yu isn't without his problems. He has low speed and doesn't have any stats that stick out. Oh wait, never mind. This guy is a tank due to his resistance to almost everything. Don't pass up on the silver-haired wonder. And the final member of the God tier is second waifu only to Naoto, Aegis. Aegis? Crap, I can't remember what they call it. Whatever. Aegis. Okay, I know it sounds like I just put my favorite characters here, but I can't imagine this being a controversial pick. Aegis is nuts. Orgia mode alone shoots her up here. Her damage output is off the charts. Her ability to tank hits and add protect the entire party with skills like Life Wall make her, well, a machine. Anyways, that's my list. Let me know your optimal team, and as always, like, share, and subscribe. Bonus round. Top 10 Persona characters, go! Number 10, Akihiko. Number 9, Junpei. Number 8, Rise. Number 7, Makoto. Number 6, Kanji. Number 5, Ryuji. Number 4, Aegis. Number 3, Naoto. Number 2, all of the main characters. And number 1, Futaba. Kawakami is life.